Tapos na niluluto mo ah. Paborito ko yan.
Sa World Remit, naiintindihan namin ang iyong paglalakbay. Na minsan, kailangan lumayo upang makamit ang tagumpay. With ways to save more, when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.
Okay, nako, magandang Thursday na gabi ho sa inyo lahat. Welcome on, no? Happy Thursday na naman. Ayan, welcome sa ating programa. Okay, nako, ito, excited na naman tayo kasi every Thursday meron tayong social, family o social virtual bubble na ang pinag-uusapan natin, immigration. At thank you very much, no, for welcoming us sa inyong mga tahanan every Thursday night. At halos araw-araw, sabihin na natin, dito ho sa Filipino TV UK. Okay, ako po si SONNY LARAGAN. For those who have tuned in for the first time, and for those, syempre, we cross-post this to everywhere, no? At kung kayo ho'y napadpad ho rito, this is an immigration program ho. Ayan, ako po si SONNY LARAGAN. Pero syempre, kasama natin yung eksperto, no? Hindi ho ako eksperto riyan. Ako lang ay, kumbaga, nag-anchor lang ho rito. Pero ito ho, let's welcome yung pinakaabangan natin every Thursday night dahil syempre, she brings cheer then aside from the knowledge and the information, cheer, smile to everybody, no? It becomes a happy family every Thursday. Mga kaibigan, ang ating immigration expert, walang iba kundi si Attorney LIRA Simon. Teka muna, ayun yung kanyang microphone na wala. Si CABATBAT, good evening, Attorney.
Hi, Sonny. Happy Thursday, no?
Oh yeah, happy Thursday. Hinahanap ko kasi yung microphone mo, baka hindi natin ma-switch. Baka biglang magsalita ka, the first few seconds mo, mawala, ano? So we made sure na from the very first syllable na masasabi mo, marinig ka. Okay, well, okay naman. Kumusta ka naman? From last Thursday until today, how was your week?
Oh,
Uy, weekend, araw yata. This week yata, maganda, no? Unlike the previous week, no? How was it?
Yeah, so bank holiday Monday, no? I tell you, bank holidays always confuse me, no? Ewan ko sa'yo. I always think I'm always one day behind, no? Nakalimutan ko man yung bank holiday Monday. So actually, ngayon, I thought it was only still Wednesday. So I've got myself terribly confused with dates, no? But yeah, no, it's been quite a nice week, I suppose. Nga, maganda yung panahon, no, which is nice for change. But otherwise, really just catching up with things. The Home Office and the courts are very busy at the moment, so I think they're desperately trying to catch up. So as a result, ako nga din, we're very busy. We have a lot of hearings now coming up.
Oh, really? Yeah, really. Oh, well, tama ka. Because it's quite confused. Well, I'm talking about yung confusion sa bank holiday, no? Tama ka kasi because what happened kasi yung 31st was end of the month 31st Monday. So ang thinking mo ngayon parang June 1 is like you associate June 1 or the first of a month siguro or anything, no? On a Monday. So pero yung June 1 happened to be on a Tuesday. So ngayon parang tama ka sa isip mo, you were thinking na yung first day of the week nun, June 1, Tuesday yon. Tapos second day, June 2, Wednesday, Thursday. So you were thinking, tama ka, akala mo third day pa lang ngayon. Ako rin. It gets confusing kasi, di ba? Bank holiday weekend. At natsyempo pa, the first day of the month is on a Tuesday. And the last Monday of the Monday happened to be the 31st, no? So,
yeah.
ayan, no?
Yun na nga.
Ayun, at least, Pero ayan, napahaba din ang ano mo. So parang you were preparing for cases like you were saying, maraming busy ngayon, mga judges, ano ba, korte ba sabi mo kanina? What were you saying?
Yeah. So yeah, they're so behind, korte, first tribunal at saka courts generally, no? Dahil because of course yung pandemic nga. So a lot of hearings, even now, remote hearings nga. So either by phone or a little bit better than that is, by remote hearing. So a bit like Zoom, no? So it's I have a lot of those at the moment. So they're obviously not trying to catch up, which is good. At saka the home office also, I've noticed clients will also say this, no doubt. They're finally getting around looking at old cases, no? Dambaga nila, no? So I think hopefully, I mean, it won't be immediate, no? But it will take a while to get caught up. But at least things are moving. So there's obviously effort and development happening. So hopefully mga taong nag-iintay pa rin ng decision ng home office, for example, or naghihintay silang court hearing, they will hopefully get that sooner rather than later. I mean, it's been madness at the moment.
Alam ko may mga cases that would like to be resolved as early as possible. Pero meron ka bang mga case parang I don't know if parang parang informally lang, no, na meron bang mga cases na parang ang pinipray ng kliyente mo, sana matagalan yung courting mag-decide para andito pa ako.
Yeah.
Sana ganun, meron bang ganyan din?
Meron din, no? They are also, tama ka, they're tactical.
Siyempre gusto mo bilisan, di ba? Iba bilisan. Pero some others ba, they say, sana medyo magtagal, sana medyo may technical, I don't know, no? Parang iniisip ko,
Yeah,
diba,
no, tama
diba?
ka. No, tama
if they
ka.
feel na
Yeah,
parang
no,
kung may delikado yung kanilang kaso, ang mga cases ba, may risk din kunyari, may mga 50-50 ba o may more of the 60, ano ba yan? It's really a gamble?
Yeah, it depends really kung anong klase ng kaso nga. But no, sometimes tactically, it may be better for matters to take longer, no? Especially sabihin natin kung may a typical example is kung may bata nga, no? Tapos yung bata magpipito na, no? Even though of course the home office will say, well, nung nagpasok yung application hindi pa siya pito, no? And so we're applying the facts as at the date of the application. But the reality is they should also take into account, of course, the child's age at that time of making the decision. So kung magpipito na nga yung bata, then you probably want that to happen, no, bago nga may desisyon. Especially kung malabo nga yung kaso nyo, in which case it may be that you would want to appeal it. So you may have a stronger case kung pito na nga siya. So there are tactical delay can be tactically advantageous, no, to a case. So yeah, no, it's and it is you also have to be whatever you do, you should also have that in mind also kung magpasok ka ng application. And if you're making representations nga, timing can be quite important, of course.
Wow. Okay, so at least doon sa mga ganyang cases, it might work to your favor, no? Yung mga ganon, di ba? Let's say, nag-apply ka mga 5.5, tapos biglang magsa-7 na. Ganun ba? Parang ganon. Or mga 6 na siguro. Basta, it can also be argued, no? Pwedeng ganon, no? It can help their cases, no? So, although the courts or the home office might say na, hey, on the time, let's base it on the time of the application, how old the child was that time. Pero pwede pala, no? Pwede rin. You can also work on it, no?
Yeah.
Pwede. Sa Pilipinas kasi ang uso doon puro postponement ng postponement para mainis yung para di ba? Sometimes some cases drag on postpone. Dahil sa dami ng dockets, maraming mga kaso. So hindi naman pag nag-postpone ngayon, next month, minsan hindi. 3 months from now, o 4 months from now. O imagine mo yung kakapostpone mo. O another 3 or 4 months, yung naabot ng years sa mga kaso doon. Yung nga, kinakapatid ko, yung kaso niya sa lupa, ang tagal, no? Inaabot talaga ng Yan. Dito, pwede rin tactically. Pwede rito, tactically rin.
Yeah. So it depends really nga kung anong klase ng kaso. I mean, it could also be that you want it done as soon as possible, no? Especially kung hindi ka it's stopping you from doing things like being able to, for example, start a business, or kaya it's stopping you from being able to travel, no? So sometimes you just and there's been a lot of delay. Dahil nga, the pandemic has obviously caused a whole host of problems, and from the legal side nga, it starts really from process to just the decision making to the matter being heard at court. So maganda nga nito, hopefully, well, okay, tingnan nga natin kung anong mangyari, no? Because we're now, I think I said Freedom Day ang tawag nila, the first 21st of June daw, when restrictions were apparently
June 12 yata.
12 ba?
Kung di ako nagkakamali, June 12, dati July 4 nung araw, binalik sa June 12. Yung kalayaan, are you talking Independence Day? Oh, June 12.
Well, yun sa you mean for COVID?
Hindi. Yung 21. Sorry, my apologies. Tama ka. Oh.
So,
akala ko yung kalayaan ng Pilipinas kasi malapit na rin, attorney. It's just around the bend. It's just around the bend.
Independence Day natin.
Independence Day. Sorry.
Yun, tama ka. 12.
Pero tama rin sila. Baliktaran na. Pero tama rin, attorney. Kasi June 12 tsaka 21. Baliktaran. Nga pala. Go back to now I'm with you. We're on the same page. Go ahead. As you were saying.
So 21st of June, so tignan nga natin, hopefully, kung ano mangyari nga doon, that we don't regress, na I don't think it would be horrible for everyone, na if we have to go through lockdown again. But more horrible than that is, of course, kung if health and lives are compromised, no?
May
hopefully.
May report, attorney, zero death, walang death. Anong araw yon? Kailan yon?
Yeah, last week ata, no?
Last week ba? Zero?
Last week, I think it was last week. Yeah, zero nga.
Sana.
But,
itong Indian variant kasi, di ba? They, although sabing gano'n, kaya nung vaccination kaya nung di ba? Hindi gano'n ka, hindi niya, di ba? So, hopefully, sana, no? Sometimes when I'm driving, I listen to nasa LBC ako, no? Ano ba, LBC, London Broadcasting something Then they change it, LBC nila. Nagda-drive ako. Si Ian Duncan Smith. He used to be the leader of the party, di ba? Conservative Party. Eventually, I think he became a prime minister for a short period. And he was advocating na kailangan yung tuloy-tuloy na. Boris Johnson doesn't have to listen to the medical experts or scientific experts o ganyan, no? Ituloy na buksan. Pero syempre, hindi natin malaman, no? We're hoping and praying, no? Alam mo, for the past 2 days, kailan ba? From Monday, Tuesday, hindi pa ako nakapanood up to now ng news. Ewan ko
talaga? Bakit?
Yes.
Busy ka ba?
Meron ako ginagawa lately. Alam mo ginagawa ko? Tinitingnan ko yung numbers pag nagbabago. Lang ako, naka-stare lang ako sa numbers. May bago, di ba sometimes people are... No, well, I couldn't say kasi completely. Pero, di ba, when you watch a game, you're excited minsan, di ba? Parang
okay,
natatalo yung team mo, parang masakit din sa'yo, di ba? Pag medyo nakakalamang yung excitement mo. Ganun din ako. Kaya lang, I'm doing it by numbers.
Okay. You sound mysterious,
gusto ko lang intrigahin kita. No, totoo yan. Sometimes I would be staring. Sometimes siguro half day, nandun lang ako, I'm just staring at numbers.
Okay.
Ikaw kwento
I am intrigued.
Yes, siyempre. Of course, Oy, teka muna. Remind ko lang sa ating mga viewers. As early as now, ipasok nyo na yung mga questions nyo. Let's come on, pasok nyo na wag na yung biglang kayo rin kasi minsan yung mga questions nyo, hindi ko na natatanong. There was a time, may 2 questions, hindi na namin nahabol, no? Okay, may mga pagbati tayo. Nakikita ko may nanonood sa atin sa Norway. Kilala ko to, kaibigan ko to Yes, okay, let's batiin natin muna. Unang-una. Ay, dapat pala, nagpag-guess ako sa iyo, attorney. Kung sino una, di ba? Medyo konting game natin.
Yun na nga.
Sayang.
Yeah.
Di ba, na-flash na natin sige.
Okay.
Pakibasa, attorney.
So, okay, galing po ito kay May Tigbao Vargas. Hi, Ms. Vargas. So, sabi po niya, good evening, Sir Sonny and Attorney Lira. Watching from Exeter, Devon, no? Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday nga, no?
Uy, attorney, I don't know kung alam mo to, nagtataasan ng mga property prices ngayon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Especially sa Devon.
Yeah, well, maganda sa Devon, di ba? Maganda riyan. Mga south na yan, southwest yan eh. Yung mga Wiltshire, yung mga papunta riyan, di ba? Ang Devon ba wala sa Wiltshire yan, no? Lagpas na yan. Iba ang Devon. Ang Devon ba kamukha?
Lagpas na.
Lagpas na yan, no? Lagpas na. Okay. So, si Mail, ano yan eh? Attorney, if we have to give siguro mga awards dito sa ating program at saka sa station, siguro one of the recipients to. Di ba? Si May Tigbaw. Talagang
Yeah,
walang
absolutely.
kupas, walang absent chat. Sa palagay ko, walang absent chat. Siguro, kayo ba, I don't know sa inyo, no? Sa amin sa high school, sa Notre Dame, meron kaming mga awards eh. Kunyari, pagka wala kang absences, meron kami awarding of awards pa eh. Best,
Yun na nga. Yeah, full attendance, no?
Full
Attendance award, yun ang tawag, di ba?
Attendance award,
Yeah.
Ito, pwede natin
Yeah,
bigyan to.
definitely.
Let's give her a certificate siguro. Ano kaya maganda? A4, ganyan, no? Di pa mapadalan to. So, saludo kami. Thank you very much. Exeter, Devon. Okay, ito, susunod nga pala, attorney. Ayan.
Okay. Yes, Fumeka Mika. So, happy Thursday po, Sir Sonny and Attorney Gandang Lira.
Wow.
Like her. So, good
Kita mo
evening
naman,
din po sa lahat ng nanonood.
Ayan,
Ano,
Nako,
Mika?
may kamay ka, ha? Kita mo, Attorney Gandang Lira, ha? Well, so magandang
Salamat po.
evening, Thursday, Tuesday, no? Happy Tuesday. Okay, salamat ha, salamat Mecca. Okay, ito, kaibigan natin to, attorney, ito yung kaibigan ko from Norway. Yan, si Marco Reyes
talaga?
Camas. Ayan, he's watching from Norway right now. Ano yan? He's one of those popular guys or parang mga Pinoys dyan sa Norway. No, a very good friend of ours. Yes, they were the organizer of the Barrio Fiestas. Siguro mga 3 or 4 Barrio Fiestas yun that I have emceed. So they have the equivalent, di ba dito? I don't know if have you ever been to the Barrio Fiesta rito? In one of the
Yes, the one in Hounslow. I think this must be the 3rd or 4th year na. Wala, no? Dahil,
wala. Ay, hindi, iba yung house law, attorney. Yun yung nung araw. Then it moved to malapit dyan sa may ano pa pangalan nito? Dito sa may malapit sa yung Palace.
Tama ka.
Malapit doon.
Hampton
Court.
Hampton Court.
Pero lalagpas doon.
Hampton Court. Yeah.
Have you been there even once? Then
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, andun lagi ang Pinoy Radio UK, year in, year out. And ang tent natin halos malapit sa side na stage, no? Parang ganoon. Every year yon, no? So dahil
And Marco was an organizer ba?
in the equivalent Nordic. Okay, here we call it the London Barrio Fiesta. There, they call it the Nordic Barrio Fiesta. Nordic kasi one term for the Scandinavian countries is Nordic, the Nordic countries, di ba? And so, yung mga Filipinos from Denmark and Filipinos from Sweden would go to Norway to participate in the Barrio Fiesta nila ron. Nordic. So I was an MC at 2, 3, 4 occasions. And that was where the newspaper Yes Philippines Nordic edition was born. And that was how I got into publications. Publishing, yeah. Doon nagsimula yun. Yes. And the first Yes Philippines was the Nordic edition. Back in 2000, di ko alam kung 18 or 17. Basta yon yung panahon na yon. It all started there. At yan ang mga organizers. So thank you ha. Magandang gabi Marco ha. Mabuhay ka. Mabuhay yan. Si Marco Reyes Camas. Ito, yung ating galit na galit sa atin, attorney.
Hindi naman. Si excited nga lang siya. Si Miss Rafael, Emmeline Rafael. Good evening, Sonny and Attorney Lira. Nice to see you both again. Hello, Miss Rafael.
Ayan. Hulaan mo sino susunod, attorney. Hi, Emmeline ha. Mabuhay ka.
Okay. MM Giling.
Anak ko. Talaga nga naman talaga, attorney. Oo. Tama ka.
Tama ba?
Correct.
Oh, you got me. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Hi, good evening and happy Thursday po, ma'am and sir. Hello, Miss Giling. Kumusta po?
Sa wakas, napauna-una ka ng content. Minsan nakikita natin si MM sa dulo, no? So, good, no? Ayan. Okay. Ayan, si Emily Rafael ngayon. Pagkatapos niya magpapansin, ayan, medyo lilit na yung kanyang mga mga text, no? Ayan. Mabuhay ka, Emily, no? And sabi niya, happy Thursday, no? To you both and happy watching your show. Ayan, thank you.
Salamat po.
And now she's now watching in Wimbledon. Kasi
Okay.
wala na siya sa friend niya, 'di ba? Kasi namatay yung asawa ng kanyang friend na nasa High Barnet. She was there na nung pag nanonood siya sa atin, she would be telling us na watching from High Barnet. Ayan. Ngayon, she's back to her yung kanyang bahay na sa kanyang lugar. So, ayan. So, ayan. Mabuhay. Si Emmeline Rafael, no? Ganun pala dapat natin gawin, attorney. Pagka, ano ba tawag dito? Pagka, pahuhulaan ko na lang, sino una? Di ba?
Sino
Ganun,
una? Okay.
Just a little game that we
Yeah,
play
yun nga.
before, at the start of our show.
Yeah.
Ayan. Oh, by the way, you can also watch us sa YouTube if you want to watch us sa YouTube, no? Pwede nyo rin tayong panoorin sa YouTube. Sabay na sabay, mas maganda ho ang signal doon kung gusto ho ninyo makapanood sa atin. Ayan. Okay. Alright. Okay. Kasi sometimes, minsan magugulat kasi, yung ating kaibigan pala, pag check ko, nandun pala, no? After the show. Meron pala tayong mga bumabati doon sa YouTube. So, ayan. Okay, tonight, siguro konting pahapyaw, attorney, and then we have a quick break, and then babalik tayo doon sa topic natin. Yung topic natin na i-discuss. Ano nga pala yung topic natin para ma-flash lang natin ngayon dito sa atin? You wanted to... Yes.
So using, what you need to know, using foreign documents, no? So kung galing sa Pinas, gusto niyo gamitin dito, o galing dito, gusto niyo gamitin sa Pinas. So it's quite not necessarily exciting topic, but it's very important, no?
Documents
Cases have been won or lost.
From here to
Because
the
of
Philippines? Philippines to here? Ano yan?
Both.
Nakaka-intriga.
Both ways.
Ayan, parang yung mga
so
numbers
both
na
ways.
binabanggit ko sa'yo, attorney, na-intriga ka, no? So ako rin, na-intriga na yan. Ano ba itong mga foreign documents? Parang both ways, no? Okay. So we're gonna have a short break, mga kaibigan. Wag ko kayong aalis, no? Kami po ay magbe-break lang po. Ayan, magbe-break lang po kami ni attorney. At pagbalik ko namin ay, syempre, kasama na ho namin kayo. Saglit po lamang, wag ko kayong aalis.
Don't go away.
Mula noon hanggang ngayon, serbisyong mapagkakatiwalaan, serbisyong maaasahan. Pagdating sa inyong mga padalang balikbayan boxes, dito ka na sa Forex Cargo. Sa presyong kayang-kaya ng bulsa, sigurado ka pa sa inyong padala. Forex Cargo. Dahil kailangan makarating. Call 0208-813-7064. O, ano pang inaantay niyo mga kabayan? Tayo na sa Forex Cargo.
100% all natural. Tasty. Healthy. Versatile. 4 unique flavors. Taste a real sauce. Galetos.
During these trying times, we salute the frontliners who are tirelessly caring for all of us against the COVID-19. To all the courageous nurses, doctors, carers, and paramedics at the NHS, words are not enough to thank you. We at Highlight Express International are here to support you back with a full semester 10% discount when you send your balikbayan boxes to your family in the Philippines. Dahil ang Highlight Express International ay para sa pamilya.
Tapos yung niluluto mo Paborito ko yan.
Sa World Remit, naiintindihan namin ang iyong paglalakbay. Na minsan, kailangan lumayo upang makamit ang tagumpay. With ways to save more, when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.
Okay, tuloy-tuloy ho tayo sa ating program. Ako po si Sonny Laragan dito po sa ating programang Immigration Corner. Siyempre, kasama natin yung pinakamamahal nating abogada, walang iba kundi si Attorney Lira Simon CABATBAT. Attorney, good evening once again.
Good evening.
Yes. Oy, mga pagbati muna. May isa tayong pagbati rito mula sa Essex, no? Si Virginia Smith, Attorney. At,
okay.
Oo, ito yung kanyang pagbati. Nasa YouTube siya. Talagang ano, no?
Okay.
Pakibasa, Attorney. Sige, ikaw
Yeah.
na magbasa.
So, isang mainit na gabi at Attorney Lira and Kuya Sonny, and to all, pa-shout out po from Essex. Hi Virginia, kamusta? Virginia Smith.
Ayan, si Virginia Smith. Oh, yeah. Oh, Virginia, natanggap mo ba yung newspaper, no? Let me know lang, no? Okay. Ayan. Okay. So, yeah, sa YouTube, you can watch us. You can also watch us on Facebook Live, no? So both of them, no? So yung mga nanonood sa atin sa YouTube, mabuhay kayo. You can watch us on both, no? Okay, Attorney, so ito yung topic natin. What you need to know when using foreign documents. Na-intriga ako. Parang I'd like to know, ano yung sinasabi ni Attorney? Papuntang Pilipinas, papunta rito. So ano nga ba ito, no? So Attorney, sige. You can take it away, no? Dito sa ating topic natin. What you need to know when using foreign documents. Take it away, Attorney.
Okay, so ito po. So unang-una po, kung meron kayong mga questions, no, ihanda nyo na ngayon, tapos padala nyo na sa amin, so at least you don't miss out, no? Now, so yung ang topic po natin ngayon, what you need to know when using foreign documents. Now, ang tatalakayin po natin ngayon, documents nga galing sabihin natin sa Pinas, no, gusto nyo gamitin nga dito, o kaya mga dokumentong kailang galing dito, gusto nyo gamitin sa Pinas, no? So, unang-una po, documents from the Philippines to use in the United Kingdom. Now, ang maganda nga, usually, mga importanteng documents such as marriage contract, birth certificate natin, ganoon, baptismal certificate, usually they're already in English, no? So, normally, hindi mo kailangan ng translation. Now, you can get those documents from, of course, the PSA, the Philippine Statistic Authority. Dati po ang tawag sa kanila NSO, no? And usually they issue para bang na yellow ang color, ano? Tapos they will give you as I say certified marriage certificate o kaya certified birth certificate. Now, you can of course get that from the authorities nga sa Pinas, sa opisina nga doon. So, pwede, kung meron kayong kilala doon, you can ask them to get documents. Pero huwag niyong kalimutan, kung meron kayong, kung may kukuha yung documents sa atin nga, kailangan nilang authority galing sa iyo, no? So, it can be a simple document, just authorizing them na you are the person involved, so marriage contract mo, and you asking your sister, itong pangalan niya, to provide the documents. Usually, idikit nyo doon, kailangan nyo dikit yung passport nyo. So, alam nila na kayo nga nag-uutos, no? So, that's one way of getting those documents. Another way of getting the documents is to get it online. You can actually make an application for those documents to reach you online. So, yung nga lang, mas mabagal sila, especially nga at the moment. It's not unusual to wait. I've certainly waited a good few weeks for documents nga to arrive. And oftentimes, it's a bit more expensive. So there's the fee for getting the documents, and also there's the courier fee also, no? And generally, my observation is mas mabagal nga sila. So kailangan yung documents sooner rather than later. Then it may be easier, it may be faster, no? Kung meron kayong uutusan sa atin, nakukuha. Yung nga lang, huwag niyong kalimutan, kailangan nilang authority galing sa inyo. Otherwise, hindi bibigay, no? So, those documents, the birth certificates, as I say, marriage contract, senumar, no, to say kung kasal kayo, kung kailan, how many times you've been married. So, those can be obtained from the PSA, and usually, as I say, English naman. So, normally hindi natin kailangan ng translation. But there are, of course, documents that are not in English, no, and sometimes nga Taglish, no. But kailangan nyo ng, you're going to use it here, sasabihin natin for the court, and you need it translated. Now, kung kailangan nyo ng translation, Ang Foreign Office po dito, ang sabi nila, ang recommendation nila is the translator, no, should be registered with an official organization, say in the Philippines, no, or other countries. So, for example, the Institute of Linguists, for example, no. So, someone who is authorized to actually translate, no. If you have the document here, dumating nga dito, tapos you need to get translated, gagamitin mo for the court, then it would be good if you get a translator, as I say, who is who's part of the Institute of Linguists or Institute of Translation and Interpreting. They're two, if you like, organizations that govern translators, no? Now, it could also be that yung translator nga is part of a company, a translation company, and that company is part of what's called the Association of Translation Companies. That's also acceptable po, no? So it just basically means na gusto nang malaman, na gusto nang siguraduhin nga na kung sino man nagta-translate, that they're competent people to do it, no? That what they're translating is actually true and correct, no? So now, with most documents, kung kailangan gamitin nga sa korte, a certified translator, that should be fine, no? Now, when you do get to court, ito na nga din po importante, and you need an interpreter po. So, translator usually means dokumento po, no? So, kung Tagalog, you want to get it translated to English nga, then it is a translator ang kailangan nyo. Because it's a paper to paper, if you like, no? Now, if you, however, need nga an interpreter, no? Iba po yun. Interpreter, ibig sabihin na, for example, sa korte, and they are they are interpreting, if you like, what you're saying to the judge, no? So, if essentially it is a person-to-person, no? Interpretation. Now, kung pupunta kayo sa korte and you need an interpreter, that will usually be free. Certainly, in immigration cases, kung meron kayong kaso sa first year tribunal, or then as long as you make arrangements nga, no, kailangan yung there's a form when you first appeal, for example, sasabihin na, do you need an interpreter? If you tick yes, then they will make an interpreter available for you. Kailangan mo nga lang sabihin what kind of interpreter do you need. So kung Tagalog nga, o kaya maybe some dialect, but make sure nga that that you get the correct interpreter. And it's good practice to check 2 weeks before the hearing po, and then a week before and a couple of days before the hearing, na talagang they have made arrangements for the interpreters. Dahil ayaw nyo nga mangyari, punta kayo sa korte, but hindi may tuloy because you don't have an interpreter. That doesn't usually happen, but it certainly it does happen. So just check. So as I say, documents na galing nga sa Pinas, you can use it here. Make sure nga meron translation if it's if it's not in English. It could also be that they want it what's called certified, no, or legalized, that it's sworn. Now, in that case, kailangan yung abogado sa atin, no, that you're swearing it nga to be true. Yeah. So make sure that you comply with all the if you like, the formalities na gusto na kailangan nila dito. That if you don't, it could be that the judge says, no, I can't use that. Or kung gagamitin nyo sa home office, it could be that they say, well, we don't believe the genuineness of this document, or we can't understand it. We're not going to use it. No, we can't rely on it because you can't understand. No, so it's not it's certainly it is for you to ensure nga that it is that the document is ready for use. No. Now, the second scenario is using documents, say, issued in the United Kingdom, say for the Philippines. I have a lot of these actually at the moment. I think partly because the embassies obviously have limited capacity at the moment to see people because of the pandemic nga pa rin, no? Now, kung galing nga yung dokumento dito, so sabihin natin, a typical example at the moment is the SPA, no? The Special Power of Attorney. So, and I'm getting a lot of inquiries because people need it and they can't book an early enough slot, say for at the embassy. Now, you can have a special power of attorney prepared, say by a solicitor, no? Yung nga lang, kung gagamitin niyo yon, say sa Philippines, and that's the only reason why you would have an SPA really. Normally, the authorities in the Philippines will want that legalized, no? Now, if you require a document to be legalized, it means kailangan yung pumunta doon sa previously it was called the Foreign Commonwealth Office. Ngayon ang tawag na Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, no? So they can deal with legalization nga of documents, but not all documents nga, no? So be careful. Check first that that's something that they can deal with. So you can go to the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, try and get legalized there, or a better bet really is go to what's called a notary public. Now, notary public can be a solicitor or indeed barrister who have an additional qualification, yung notary public. Basically, they deal with foreign documents. And so they will check they will check your ID. They have their stamps and seals, and they will then stamp your document as having been certified by the, say, notary public. And that notarized document can then be used abroad, no? So kailangan yung gamitin nga sa Pinas, the SPA, typical example. So I've prepared a number of SPAs nga this week. So the special power attorney, and for all of them, sabi ko nga, look, sa kliyente ko, you have to take this now to a notary public, no? Not all solicitors are notary publics, and certainly not all barristers are notaries, no? So you can Google it, and so the nearest notary to you, the fee can vary, depends really on how complex the document is, but you're probably looking at upwards of £150, maybe more than that, to get it notarized. And then when you have it, you can then use that because it's been notarized in, say, the Philippines, no? Now, it's very important nga, especially kung para sa mga lupa, no? You'll find that they will want something either legalized nga by the foreign office, o kaya that it's notarized. Now, in some cases, hindi nyo kailangan yun, no? So, if say you want to make nga a statement, no, it doesn't have to be a special power of attorney because you're not dealing with land, for example. So you simply want to confirm that that you want, for example, your child to travel, no, from the Philippines to come into the United Kingdom. Now, that document can be prepared. So it's an affidavit of consent, for example, and you will say there, akong nanay o akong tatay ng bata, itong passport copy ko, itong passport copy ng bata, my child is presently in the Philippines and wants to, and I've authorized my sister to accompany him or her to travel back to the United Kingdom. Kung yun ang kailangan nyo, then that's something that a solicitor can prepare for you, and you can also swear that before the solicitor, because we are if you have a practicing certificate as a solicitor, then we are also what's called a commissioner for oaths, no? So there, kailangan ng solicitor, and certainly what I would ask is, kung hindi ko sila kilala, then I would need a passport, for example, no, or some kind of ID, some kind of formal ID like a driving license, no. And usually didikit ko din yun dun sa the consent form, and so that way it's complete when you need to present it, say at the airport, no, especially kung may mga bata nga. Importante nga din, you can also include this in any kind of declaration. It may be an idea to also include yung contact details nyo, in case the airline wants to confirm na just to call you, just to check that that's indeed correct. So there are number of ways nga of if you like getting your document formally recognized in the UK for usage nga in the Philippines. So yung nga una, you can certainly go to the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, get a legalization, but that's quite a fuss, especially nga ngayon because of a lockdown. I think their office is now open, but they're quite by appointment only. second possibility and a better bet probably is a notary public, no, but it is more expensive. Pero kung hindi nyo kailangan notary public, then you certainly can use the services of solicitors or indeed barristers, because as long as we have practicing certificates nga, then we are commissioner for oaths, and so you can also swear if you like those documents before us. So those documents can then be used, as I say, although executed in the United Kingdom, it can then be used in the Philippines. Now, just as I was saying earlier, just going back, certainly my experience is documents coming from the Philippines into the United Kingdom. No, now just a tip also, no. I come across a lot of documents na galing nga sa Pinas, ginagamit natin, or indeed just documents that are in Taglish, no, Tagalog at saka English. So it would be, for example, kung kailangan pakita nga sa kaso ko that there been continued contact between, say, a parent and a child, no, where we're making an application for a child to come into the UK, or spouse nga, continued contact, and you have chats, yeah? So Facebook nga, o kaya any kind of chats, then usually what I find is hindi naman Tagalog, so hindi naman English and English, but you know, a mixture of the two, as I say, Taglish nga, no? If you have those kinds of documents, be careful, yeah? Because dahil nga hindi lahat English, it could be that the Home Office or indeed the court may take issue with not being able to understand it all, no? So kung gagamitin nyo yon as evidence, you should also provide a full translation of the documents. What I find very helpful, so that it's less confusing for courts nga, as a tip, is this. May scene lang naman yung mga messages. Usually, I would have the original message on the left-hand side, no? Tapos on the right-hand side, so you have two tables, yeah? On the right-hand side nga is the translation, no? And you go through all the messages nga like that, no? Sometimes also, you may not want to go through all the messages, dahil ang dami nga. So you pick and choose a few things, maybe potentially, I don't know, 20 messages in amongst 200 messages. Now, another tip po, kung gagamitin yon para sa korte, for example, or indeed to the, certainly for court, no? Disclose it as part nga of your documents to the Home Office as quickly as you possibly can. Yeah? So sabihin nyo doon, and ask point blank, say, these are documents that will be used. So there are certain documents that have been translated nga. These are the documents you're going to rely on. So you're giving it to them nga in advance in case they wish to obtain translation also of the documents. Now, it doesn't mean na hindi nyo na responsibilidad nga yung mga documents to get it translated, but at least you're giving the Home Office a chance to also go through it. Because then you may well say to the judge, well, look, I'm only adducing, say, 20 of the documents, but the balance of the documents were actually submitted already to the Home Office in advance. It may make your case that much stronger, especially kung kailangan yung pakita yung continued contact, no? So those are useful tips, you know, for if you're going to be using foreign documents nga at court or the tribunal. But to be on the safe side, if it's a foreign document nga, get it translated, because what you don't want is you can't then use it and then you lose your case. So it's important.
Oh, okay. Ayan. Okay, attorney, right. Paano it's you said kailangan ng mga parang ano ba, may professional translator yan sa ano? Parang gano'n, kailangan, how do they know? For example, when you submit a document dito sa Home Office or whatever for any purpose dito, pwede ba yan, ano ko, pwede although tama siguro ang translation, dahil you understand naman, siguro ililipat lang, no? Malalaman ba ng Home Office kung medyo hindi professional, ano? Kailangan ba may seal or what makes it really coming from a professional translator or parang talagang, you know, may somebody probably with a qualification back home in the Philippines who translated the document. Nalalaman ba nila yan?
Yes, so usually,
yeah, go ahead.
Well, usually, kung sabihin natin galing nga sa Pinas, no, gusto niyong gamitin nga dito, usually the translator that you would use, no, is someone already nga in the United Kingdom. So someone like you potentially you or I, no, sorry. So we would certainly in the past I've translated documents. I try not to because it takes so long, no. But yeah. So you can you get it translated in the United Kingdom.
Dito pala akala ko doon. Oh. Pero ako I've done some translations, some adverts, ano ba? Hindi pa ako naka-experience ng court pero I've done a lot of solicitor work then, no? Minsan sideline yan, maganda sweldo kasi, maganda bayad sometimes, no? So,
yeah.
Ayan. Okay. You were mentioning about, may frustration in a way sa Philippines, no? Is it the Philippines o dito yung documents online? Kasi courier and it's more expensive. Were you referring to documents online obtained sa Pilipinas? Because you were mentioning PSA, no? Sabi mo, Philippine Statistics Authority, which used to be the NSO yata, di ba? Bago na ngayon.
Okay.
Kailan ba nagbago yan?
Yeah.
Kailan nagbago yan? Just for
Matagal na
curiosity's
nga
sake.
Matagal na. Matagal na. I can't, at least a couple of years na nga, no? PSA. So, so you can order not all documents clearly. So marriage contract nga, but you can order birth certificate, Senomar, no?
Senomar, yeah.
You can order those bayad tong yung PSA. So you can order it online. Yung nga lang, there's a fee anyway, but I think it's more expensive actually to have it couriered, no? And at the moment, my experience certainly is mas mabagal nga. So for example, I need some. I have a number of clients now this week that I need some urgent documents from them. So sabi ko nga sa kanila, rather than relying on the PSA, actually we've done both. So I've applied nga online. Pero sabi ko sa kanila, look, utusan mo yung kapatid mo, nasa Pinas naman, bigyan natin sila ng authority, no? Pila siya doon, ano? And get the documents. Yeah, and actually, so you find that that's actually a bit faster. And then, of course, they can be HLet nga dito. Or, Forex, no? So that it arrives in the UK. So yun nga, sometimes mas mabagal.
You mentioned something, check 2 weeks before. Why were you mentioning nga uli yan? Check 2 weeks before. Meron kang mga sinasabing gano'n. Ano yan nga uli, attorney?
Yeah. So it's a tip really, no? Para sa kung kailangan mo ng interpreter, no? Sabihin natin sa first year tribunal.
To make sure na meron andon, okay.
Yun na nga. O kaya sa korte po, no? Dahil you request that, you see, well in advance. Pagka nagpasok ka ng appeal nga, mo na sasabihin usually, do you need an interpreter? Now, so months later, it could be nakalimutan nila, no? And if you don't check, it could, and you turn up at court, it could be that the hearing can't go ahead. The judge will say, well, I'm not an interpreter. Kung walang interpreter, I'm not willing to hear the case. And of course, importante nga maintindihan mo lahat, no? So what you should do as good practice is kung kailangan niyo po ng interpreter, absolutely put it down anyway on the form, yung una. You need to say also anong kailangan mo. There's no point saying kailangan mo ng Tagalog interpreter kung hindi naman Tagalog ang kung Ilocano naman iintindihan mo.
O Bisaya,
no?
pwede.
So you
Pwede
must
naman
put
yata,
down. O Bisaya, no? So lagay mo yung dialect, nga. So it could be kung hindi Tagalog, kailangan Bisaya o kaya Ilocano, it could be that they're harder to find, ha? No? But once you put it down, I would say to you, check nga, a few weeks before and then a few days before, with the court. Check mo, have they an interpreter nga lined up? Because it could be that they haven't. But if you give them enough time, then they can find someone. Because what you don't want is for the hearing to be ineffective dahil nga wala kang interpreter. And by the way, interpreters are free, sa korte at sa tribunal. Yeah? So hindi nyo kailangan silang bayaran.
At saka sa mga hospital, mga NHS appointments, maraming ganyan, mga interpreters. So, hindi mo man kasalanan, kung talagang, kasi that goes probably through an agency. And the agency has to really make sure na meron kang, interpreter or, interpreter no araw na yun. Pero sabi mo, you have to check at least 2 weeks. Who do you check now? Do you call up the court or the agency? The court.
Hindi po,
Just to
the
make sure
court,
to
yeah.
remind them.
So,
Ah.
yun na nga. So, on pag nakuha niyo po yung notice ng appeal, no? On the top right-hand corner, there's usually a telephone number, no? So, it's just a general number. So, pagka tinawagan niyo yun, you just say, okay, ang hearing niyo itong reference number ng hearing po, can you just check, or get someone else to check for you, that they have an interpreter available. Sabihin niyo nga din, I ask po, Tagalog, English, Tagalog, English interpreter. Can they just confirm nga that it's available, no? And also, just another tip, if they say, yeah, meron nga available, ask whoever you're speaking to, ask their name o kayong reference number nila. Just in case you get to court and they say, well, why didn't you check? You can say, no, I did check. I spoke with someone, itong pangalan, no? Because it's a practical thing to do.
Tama yan, oo. Yeah, ginagawa ko yan. Ginagawa ko ng yung aking mga mahal sa buhay, sinasabi ko, pag ganun tumawag kayo, i-check nyo, kunin nyo yung pangalan para kung sakasakali may nangyari, at least meron kayong sabihin nyo, ito yung kausap ko, no?
Yeah.
Special power of attorney, sinabi mo nga na minsan nagkakahirapan sa embassy, no? So the only recourse is one through yung legalized documents sa bago na ba yan? FCDO? Kailan pa yan?
Yeah, so ang tawag na ngayon, rather than the Foreign and Commonwealth Office, ang tawag na nga is the Foreign, I still call it the FCO because I will never get used to the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office. And to be frank, I don't really know bakit pa pinalitan because everyone's used to the FCO and it doesn't really add much. It's now called Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office. Anyway, so they can do legalization of documents, but not all documents, no? They will only legalize documents nga like documents that were issued here, no? So I think you will probably find that they will have problems now with an SPA, and frankly, it's also quite expensive, no? And they because of course of
which one?
pandemic
Sa
na,
FCDO? Sa FCDO?
Yeah. So they will charge you nga. So it's probably, frankly, cheaper. Kung hindi nyo kailangan notary, go to the solicitor, and it's cheaper, no? Kung prepared na yung documents, so without preparing documents, you just need to simply swear it before solicitor. So they just witness your signature, and of course, titignan nga nila yung ID. So if you're simply swearing it before solicitor, then you're probably looking at about £20, no? To swear one document.
Wow,
and then they would charge you separately for kung meron pang exhibits, no? So I think that's charged, I can't remember, I think £5 or something, or £10 per document. So hindi gaano mabigat, no? Notary publics, they do charge quite a bit more because it's a formal document that definitely that's definitely usable nga for abroad.
So, well, now that you're saying mas practical do sa sa mga solicitors, no? Pero yung FCDO, nagtataka ako, how do they do it online? Kasi like di ba nabanggit ko sa last time, we had this exclusive interview with yung current ambassador ngayon who's leaving na and coming back, no? The end of his tour of duty. Doon sa FCO, dati doon namin in-interview, no? Yung ba, doon mismo dyan sa may malapit sa number 10 Downing Street, yung area na yan? Doon ba yon?
Yeah, they have different offices nga, ano. I don't think that's actually where they carry out the legalization, no. Mm-hmm. I think the legalization happens elsewhere. Could even be towards Liverpool Street, I think, no. But at the moment, because of the pandemic, nga, they're operating, I think, on an appointment basis only. And one of my clients tried to actually make an appointment with them and just didn't get anywhere. So it's faster, I would say, and just as effective. If you just kung kailangan nyo, if you definitely need something formal and it's a foreign document nga, you're swearing it to be true, then try maybe first yung notary public.
Notary public.
Especially kung lupa, yeah.
Pwede na.
Anything to do with land nga sa Pinas, it's probably better to go with a notary public. Pero kung hindi nyo kailangan notary public, yung nga, if you just need to confirm it to be true, no? Especially kung it's a permission nga for someone to travel, especially bata, to be accompanied to the United Kingdom, then you can go to a commissioner for oaths. The commissioner for oaths would be solicitors like me, no? Only barristers nga, where kung meron kang practicing certificate, then you would be a commissioner for oaths.
Magkano ba sa ano? Pagka sa nagkuha ng SPA sa embassy, may idea ka ba, attorney, kung magkano ang fees?
I don't actually know what the current fee is for the SPA. I mean, I can only say that it's quite difficult at the moment to get appointments, no, the embassy, because they have unfortunately quite a lot of backlog, because obviously they've been quite busy dealing with very serious events like deaths nga dito. So unfortunately things like appointments nga for passports and indeed documents, they've necessarily been delayed. So I have a lot of people saying, look, kailangan ko SPA, what do I do? And what I say to them is, okay, we can prepare it for you, yung SPA nga, and then you should take it to a notary public. Kailangan mong gamitin in the Philippines for especially if it's to do nga with land.
Okay.
So
Okay, we're gonna have a short break. Pagbalik ho natin doon sa mga questions ho, no, na ipinadala ho ninyo sa atin. At kung meron kayong mga questions dyan ho. No? Okay, we're gonna have a short break. Wag ho kayong aalis. Kami ho ni attorney ay magbabalik. No? Saglit po lamang. Saglit po lamang.
Tapos yan yung niluto mo Paborito ko yan.
Sa World Remit, naiintindihan namin ang iyong paglalakbay. Na minsan, kailangan lumayo upang makamit ang tagumpay. With ways to save more, when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.
Ayan, yan ang paboritong kanta nila Ma'am Carsola, nila Emerlyn Rafael, no? Yung tugtog na yan. Talagang napapa-induct talaga sila, no? Attorney. Alright. Okay. Yes. So,
nakita mo ba ako? Well, every time the music goes on, I'm going,
hindi kasi talaga totoo yan. Magandang ating very bouncy, no? It's nice, no? Apt APT, no? For the program, for the vibes that we have, no? Very happy vibes on a happy Thursday. Okay, may pagbati lang tayo. So yan, talking of Ma'am Carsola, ito, yan. Kasi hindi kaya naman natin, andyan siya eh. So si Ma'am Cora Carsola, bumabati sa atin ng, good evening, happy Thursday po. Ayan, sabi niya. Ayan, Sir Sonny.
happy Thursday.
Attorney Lira and all. Yes, mabuhay kayo, Ma'am. Ma'am, good evening. From there, we go to Spain. Attorney, pakibasa lang Spain natin.
Wow, okay. So from Jen Tonic Martini. Good evening po, Sir Sonny and Ma'am Attorney Lira, watching from Spain. My
Yeah,
goodness
she's watching
me,
from
talaga.
Alicante. No? Alam natin kung saan nanonood yan. No? Mabuhay ka. No?
Wow.
Jen Tonic Martini. Ganda ng pangalan niya. Jen Tonic Martini.
Yun na nga. Yeah. Okay. Ito, galing po to Miss Marian Galicia Paner. Hello po, Kuya Sonny and Attorney Lira. At sa lahat, happy Thursday po and stay safe and God bless us. Yeah. I'm watching from Cheltenham.
From Cheltenham, we now go to Derbyshire. Ayan, attorney.
Look, what a lovely photo. So, galing po to
YouTube.
I'm assuming this is not Daisy, no? Yeah, so this,
Baka
watching
anak niya
from
yan.
YouTube, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ang cute niya,
Yes.
Daisy Wrigley. Hello po, Kuya Sonny and Attorney Lira, watching po from Derbyshire. Derbyshire is lovely, no? Especially nga ngayon, weather is great. Ang cute niya. Ilan taon na siya, Daisy?
Ilan taon na ba yan, Daisy? Yung uniko iho yata siguro yan. No? The only
Iho
child,
nga, yeah.
boy siguro, no? Oo, yeah. Oo. Alam ko kasi she won, kailan ko ba nakausap yan? Nanalo kasi nung nung last Christmas, yung Sabado panalo. So, ayan. Ito, talking of the angel. Ito na yung angel. Thinking of the angel pala. Nandyan na siya.
Mr. Duay, paborito. Yeah, so paborito natin, no? Edgar Duay. So, magandang gabi po, mga kababayan. Attorney LC and legendary Laragan watching from work. Oh no, had my second vaccine today and it's ouch. Oh, Mr. Duay. Oh,
Ay, ka pala. Tapos na sa'yo, attorney, di ba? Yung sa'yo, mga 2 weeks ago ba?
Hindi pa. Next
wala pa ba yung second mo?
Next week, I think next week or the week after, mid-June pa.
We're
They actually
talking
only
your
text me today.
second dose na yan, di ba,
Yeah,
attorney?
second na po.
Second na yan.
Yeah.
Second na yan. Good.
You've had your 2, ano? Ikaw?
Yes, I've had it yes. I was kind of worried kasi na baka aabot ng June. My flight has been moved again. Supposedly first week ng June ito bukas yata today dapat nag-fly na ako ng Spain. Pero na-move yun ang end of the month. Pero mamumove na naman. So pang-5, pang-6 na move na yan. Ewan ko ba? Nakakaano na. Anyway, ito sumagot si Daisy, attorney. 7 years old daw. Yan. Ay, asa na ba? Hindi ba lumabas?
Yes, you do, yeah.
Ayan, oo. Si Edgar,
7
ingat
years
lang ha,
old
Edgar.
na siya.
Oo. Ayan. Okay. Attorney, let's go to some of the questions that they sent in earlier.
Sure.
Within the week no? Okay. Ito sino ba tong meron tayong mga 3 katanungan dito Dali lang attorney.
Oh, Mr. Duay, by the way, nasan si
Oo.
Mrs.? Kamusta po?
Oo. Si Mrs. Oo nga pala. Si Irene. Kamusta? Kasi nurse yun She's a nurse, no? Baka nasa work. Okay, attorney, ito. Meron tayong immigration question dito. Yan. Pakibasa lang, attorney.
Oh, galing kay Mr. Lonely, bless. Okay, so question po niya, kung mahuli po ako bilang TNT, ano pong pwede kong gawin kagad? Salamat po. Oh, Mr. Lonely. Oh, that's so sad, no? Okay. So, kung TNT ka, tago ng tago, so overstayer, no? Dito sa UK, mahuli ka. Ang una na lang gagawin, they will interview you, no? Now, pagka in-interview ka, kung meron kang mga pamilya nga dito, no? You must disclose those, no?
Cool.
Now, you should also, so kung mayroong pamilya dito that can help your case, ibig sabihin, no? So, sabihin natin, meron kang girlfriend. Girlfriend mo nga ay British, indefinite leave to remain. If you don't disclose that at interview, sasabihin nila later on, well, why did you not disclose it at interview? It questions really the genuineness of your relationship, for example. Pero ang una pong mangyayari, they will if you get caught, they will obviously want to interview you. So if you get caught, usually they will take you to a police station unang-una, and then an immigration officer will come along, and then we'll see about interviewing you. No, once they've interviewed you, then they will make a decision. Are they going to detain you, or are they going to ask you to report later on? At the moment, my observation certainly is that they detain, no? So that means that they will then, you wait a long time at the police station, and then in due course, they will take you to a detention center. Now, in amongst all that, unang-una please, Mr. Lonely, no? Sabihin mo sa kanila, meron kang solicitor, no? So as soon as they say, we want to interview you, say, meron akong solicitor, if you have a solicitor, of course, or I'd like to have a solicitor, o kung kailangan mo ng interpreter, yung pinag-uusapan nga natin kanina, dahil you want to make sure that nagkakaintindihan nga kayo, make sure you also request that, no? So if you have a solicitor, then give them a call. What I normally do, sir, certainly mga kalayante ko, if I see them, even if I only see them nga the once, no? Those of you who are familiar with me, it's those I see on a kind of one-off thing, my 3-200 matters, no? So, ibig sabihin, there are ones that I just need to watch out for, no? So, kung meron kang solicitor, say, ako ang solicitor mo, make sure, sabihin, kung meron kang kaibigan, mga kamag-anak nga dito, and they want, tell them, no? Itong solicitor ko, si Lira, tawagan niyo siya, itong details niya, kung, just in case may ka-problema ako. That way, you can just call them, and say, okay, may problema, tawagan mo si Lira, no? And hopefully, I will then have nga all your documents. Now, wag mong kalimutan, Mr. Lonely, sabihin mo, nasaan ka, no? So, especially if it's the weekend, you don't have anyone else to call, but you're calling me, no? It's weekend or after office hours, leave your message. Bigay mo yung buo mong pangalan. Pangalan ko, Mr. Lonely, nasan ka, sinong solicitor mo sa opisina ko, no? And if there's a number where we can reach you, say so. Because otherwise, I won't know how to make contact now with you. And then, we will make contact with you. No? So, ang pinaka-importante nga po ito, make sure you have legal assistance. No? So, kung wala pa naman nangyayari nga sa iyo ngayon, great. In which case, ang payo ko, kahit wala kang gagawin, see a solicitor, get them to open a file for you. Kung may mangyari, at least meron kang matatawagan.
Pwede ba yan? Pwede ba mag-request, attorney? Ganun, pwede bang may tawagan ako? I have a solicitor. Maski wala, parang mga ngapapa yan. Tatawag siguro sa kaibigan, no? Dito ako, nakakulong ako. So, nakakulong, no? Hindi ba confine, no? Paano ba tawag yun? Naka-detain, okay. O, naka-detain ka.
Mm-hmm.
Pwede kang magtawag. You can, kasi siyempre, wala kang alam. Tuliro ka, no? So, yan. Now, because pag mangyari yan sa kaibigan ng mga nanonood sa atin, so they can request. Hindi sila pwedeng magpa-intimidate ba? Paano ba situation yan? Naka-detain sila, tapos para bang pag nahuli ba sa pulis yan? Ganun ang style na parang, ganun ba ang style yan, attorney?
It can be really intimidating, no? I mean,
diba?
It depends really kung sino nga who's dealing with you. People have different styles, and certainly I've come across nga immigration officers that are, for want of a better word, very harsh, no? And it can truly be intimidating nga, especially kung hindi mo sila naiintindihan gaano, no? So it takes a lot of actually, courage to say, look, meron kong solicitor, I'd like to speak now with my solicitor, o kailangan ko ng interpreter, no? So don't be bullied, no? It's important that you do seek advice and don't just sign documents to agree to be returned to the Philippines, for example, without seeking advice, because it could be na meron kang habol. It could be that it's wrong also to have you removed because of your facts.
So wag mong pipirma, wag kang no? Ano ba nakalusulat doon? Pedro hereby would like to be sent back home to the Philippines. Ganun ba ang mga
Yeah.
Parang
Yeah,
more
it's a
to
very
that
straightforward
effect,
document.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So it would just say that you agree to be to be removed, say to the Philippines.
Dito, normally usually yung mga ganyan, mga detention attorney.
They're everywhere.
Really? They're
Yeah,
everywhere.
they're everywhere.
So marami pala yan,
there's,
walang centralized na kung saan kayo nakadetain. Pwedeng maski saan ka dalhin.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I've dealt with a few in Dover. No,
Dover.
That time na hindi that I was not able to join. He was being detained in Dover. No, and they can be everywhere. I think there may be also detention center in London. I guess it could even be Croydon. So they're all over the place.
They're
really.
all over. Okay, all right. Okay. Okay, attorney si Irene bumati sa atin ngayon. Ito, sabi niya, late daw siya, attorney. Ayan. Oo.
So, pasensya na po. Late ako. Nakapasok. Hi, Miss Duay.
Present po. Ayan.
Present po.
Si Rudy, ayan. Bumabati si Rudy.
Si Rudy. Sasabi po niya, magandang gabi po at masayang Thursday. Lovely Attorney Lira and Sir Handsome Sonny and all viewers. Hot in Belfast.
Wow,
oh my gosh.
very hot in Belfast. No?
Okay. Ibang picture niya. Oh, that looks cool.
Iba, nasa YouTube nanonood sila, which is good, no? At least, alam nyo, yung Facebook nagsisinungaling. They're trying to sinasakal-sakalan. They will just tell you na ganun lang, no? Pero actually marami, no? They're trying, sinasakal nila yung kanilang mga statistics, no? Okay.
Really?
Meron, attorney, teka muna, meron tayong tanong dito, no? Okay, so yung unang question, okay. So ito naman nating, all right. Okay, let's, okay. Ito, attorney, pakibasa itong ating next question dito.
Okay, ito po galing kay Elaine M. Hello po, attorney. Gusto ko pong kunin yung anak ko na babae na 15 years old na sa Pilipinas. Pero ayaw po ng asawa na magkahiwalay sa
ayaw po ng
akin,
asawa
no?
ko na nangaliwa sa akin pala. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Ano pong maaari kong gawin, no? Gusto ko talagang mabigyan ng magandang kinabukasan yung anak ko kung nandito po siya. Problema po yan, ano, Elaine? It depends really, no? So unang-unang question ito, nakatira ba yung bata sa ama niya, no? Sa asawa mo. So kung hindi siya nakatira doon sa tatay niya, then you probably have what's called sole responsibility. Pero kung nakatira siya sa tatay niya, then you at best meron kang joint responsibility. Pero kung kukunin mo nga siya dito, ang gusto nilang makita nga meron kang sole responsibility. Frankly, kahit sabihin natin nakatira nga siya sa ama, no? Kahit nga pumayag yung ama, kung nakatira siya doon, then you still do not have sole responsibility for the child. So, yung nga lang, kung nagkakasundo nga kayo, then chances are you want to also bring yung asawa mo nga dito. Pero kung hindi nga kayo nagkakasunduan na, so hindi mo nga siya kukunin dito, yung bata nga lang, then you will have problems, Elaine, unfortunately. Dahil gusto na makita yung sole responsibility. Ibig sabihin, ikaw bahala lahat. Now, I would also say though, I mean, certainly I've had cases like this na kahit nga nakatira yung bata dun sa magulang nga, nasa Pinas, it could be, in this case, yung ama nga, na wala namang siyang ginagawa, no? Na okay, pareho silang nakatira sa isang bahay, but otherwise, hindi siya, wala siyang pakialam sa bata, para bang ginagamit nga lang niyang like a hotel doon, no? But you need to also be able to provide some evidence of that. So statements, for example, galing nga sa mga kapatid mo o yung yaya nga at ang bata na hindi umuwi yung ama. But if you have a father nga na kung yung ama mabait man at isa sa bata, no? Siya nga ang siya is nabibigay siya ng pera, siya bumibili ng mga dealing with the school, o kasi siyang doing grocery shopping, ganoon, then you will have a problem, Elaine, kung wala kang sole responsibility. So, ang payo ko, as a tip nga ito, no, before doing anything, no, get advice, yeah? Dahil ang ayaw mo mangyari, you don't want to make an application with all the fees that come with that, no, and then get a refusal. No? So before doing anything, get advice, even if it's just a one-off advice, no? So hindi ganong mahal before taking any steps. But the main problem you will have, Elaine, unfortunately, is yung sole responsibility.
Nako, mukha yatang mahirap yata ito, attorney. Lalo na kung may mga kamukha nung ating, one of your clients a long time ago, very successful na, restaurateur. Alam mo na, I don't know if you know yung sinasabi ko, no? Yung doon sa bandang Romford, Essex, no? Naging very successful, pero she was blackmailed by the husband na hindi papayag. Kinukuha niya siyempre yung mga kids niya. Ano siya, parang nubugbog siya ng husband niya na yun before talaga, no? So binanakmail para dumating dito. Eventually, ginawa ng guy, he left her, went with another girl, no? Nakapunta lang dito sa UK. Ganon. So itong gandong kwento, siguro more or less, siguro baka ganyan din siguro, para binablackmail siya na gusto makarating.
It happened.
Gano'n, no? So paano ngayon? Ito ngayon, parang it's a dilemma. Because for you, paano mo, ayoko sa asawa ko. Pero hindi ko kukunin asawa ko, hindi ko makukuha yung anak ko. So, parang it's mahirap, no? May mga ganyan situations. Yun nga, kamukha nung ating kaibigan, no? Na dati mong kliyente. Si Miss, iba pangalan niya nung araw, Miss something, no? Okay.
Oo nga.
Di ba? Kasi kilala mo na yung ating...
kilala ko. Yeah, huwag nga lang natin sabihin ng pangalan. Yun na nga.
Wag na. Okay. Si Daisy, sabi niya, very informative, no? Itong ating gabing ito, no? Attorney, from Bosnia and Herzegovina, si Ivy Gregorio Mirkovic. Ba't Mirkovic to?
Mirkovic.
Ivy, ikaw ba yan? Hindi, kasi merong Ivy na taga Bosnia and Herzegovina na, hindi, mukhang iba yan, na very sikat sila, yung si Vincic. Kasi Sibinchic. Ang basa nila, Chich. Hindi chick eh.
Okay.
Chich. Sibinchich. Oh, very attorney. Teka muna, kung makikita ko nito. Very I don't know kung it's the same to, no? Si same to. Oo. Sibinchich family. Pero mukhang iba apelido nito, no? Ito, attorney. Sibinchich.
Thanks for watching. Wow. Okay. Well, yeah.
Pinay ito, and she's trying to raise the profile of sikat na sikat siya, marami silang followers. Ito, attorney, I'll see if I can flash this on the screen. Si Binchich family, oo, para makita mo lang. And it will make you proud kasi doon, nagtatanim sila ng gulay, and she's trying to, yung mga pagkaing Pinoy yata, i-expose niya sa mga Bosnians and Herzegovinians. Ito, attorney.
Wonderful, yeah.
Yan, si Binchich family. Pinay yan, attorney.
Wow.
Pero I don't know kung si Ivy to, no? Ayan, no? So, look at her, no? Very, napaka-cute ng family nito. And welcome to the Sibinchik family. We are loving Filipino, Bosnian, and Serb family. Pero mo 6.9 followers, 6,000 followers in Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Wow.
Ayan, look at her. She's pretty, oh.
Oh, so cute din mga bata. That's wonderful.
Oo, yan, no? Ayan si Ivy. Pero hindi ko alam kung si Ivy. Ivy, ikaw ba yan, o? Baka ibang Ivy to. Ayan, no? Look at the family, oh. Ayan. Ano sila? Kita mo, meron sila YouTube channel siguro. And so they were, di ba? Oo, successful sila dyan. So, yeah, a lot of people in are following them, no? Diyan sa Bosnia, Herzegovina. Oo, asan na ba yan? Ayan. Okay.
Cute nila.
Cute nila, no? Okay, may tanong dito, attorney, no? Lala Cadalina. Okay, sabi niya, happy watching to all from Greenwich, London. Ako po ask ko lang po kung pwede pong gamitin ang A1 English exam na ginamit ko sa Pinas for fiancé visa. Pwede din ba yung magamit for my spouse visa application? Thanks po, God bless you. God bless your show, yeah. Lala Cadalina. Nakuha mo ba yung tanong niya, attorney? Gusto mo ulitin ko?
Yeah. So
Basahin ko
yung
lang
A1 na...
ask ko lang po kung pwede kong gamitin ng A1 English exam na ginamit ko sa Pinas for fiancé visa. Pwede din ba yun magamit ko for my spouse visa application? So, nakapasa siya doon sa... May exam ba fiancé visa?
Yeah. So, you actually for
pwede
the
ba
fiancé...
use the same result, no?
Yes.
So, same result,
Yes, yeah. So you can usually, no, you pagka nandito ka na, if you would normally need an A2, no, mas mataas nga. But the exception would be kung ginamit mo pumasok nga dito, you can use the same exam in the UK, no. Also, of course, it wouldn't have been that long ago na ginamit mo nga yun. By the way, those tests expires expiration date is 2 years, ha? So yes, the answer is you can.
Parang ano yan dito, no? Yung mga driving, ano ba tawag dito? Yung mga theory exams, no? Yung theory tsaka practical. Pagka, di ba dito, nagpapaso din after, let's say, a number of years, hindi ko alam kung 2 or 3 years, you have to take the exam again. Pag naipasa mo, kasi I don't know kung within 2 years or 3 years, kailangan pumasa ka na doon sa practical driving exam mo. Dahil kung hindi, you will have to retake the exam. Pero sabi mo, A1, A2, no? Sa spouse, A2 ang level na kailangan mapasa dito?
Yeah, so kung dito mo nga kukunin, no? Usually it's ang A2, no? There's some circumstances A2 nang kailangan mo. But frankly, there's not a lot of difference between A1 and A2, no? In level nga. But ginamit mo nga ito nung pumasok ka dito. As an exception, you can still use the A1 to support the application for a spouse.
Okay. Tutuwa naman ako itong lugar natin, no? Pero kung saan parts ng Europe nanonood sa atin, sa mundo, no? Imagine mo yan. Iba pala,
Bosnia,
iba. Ito, Bosnia, Herzegovina. Sumagot attorney, sabi niya friend ko po siya from Negros Occidental po ako. Pero nandito na ako sa Bosnia. Nag-follow talaga ako sa page niyo po, sir, kasi very informative siya at nakakatulong talaga sa amin. Yeah, maski anywhere in Europe siguro. And you can tell your friends about it. Imagine mo, attorney, nasa Bosnia and Herzegovina. So, babasahin ko yung pangalan niya. Coming, using the formula of yung mga, yung IC sa dulo, Chich. No? Parang Chich, di ba? Si Vin,
Okay.
hindi si Vincit, di ba? Si Vincic. Si Vincich. Okay, siguro ang basa rito, Ivy Gregorio Mirkovic. Vic siguro, yung VIC, Vic, no? Mirkovic.
Siguro.
Ayan, oh, mabuhay ka, Ivy, ha? Thank you, ha? Nag-like na ba kayo? Inalike nyo na ba yung Filipino? Ito to. Filipino TV Europe, ha? Para sa lahat yan, we have a program on a Monday called Embassy Nating Kaibigan Mo. And this Monday, it's gonna be the Embassy of France. Last Monday, katatapos yung Embassy of Hungary. Hungary, Poland, Hungary, Romania, Moldova, kasi hawak niya 7 yung ating ambassador doon, no? Bosnia Herzegovina, marami yun eh. Pati ano ba yung isa, yung Sofia capital? Bulgaria.
Oh,
yeah.
gosh.
Bulgaria.
Yeah, Bulgaria, of course.
Bulgaria, yes.
Oo nga.
Di ko makalimutan kasi anak ko Sofia eh. So, Bulgaria. Ayan, so yeah, thank you. Si Daisy Wrigley, kita mo naman. Yes po, theory test is only valid for 2 years. Kita mo naman, ha? It's a give and take, no? They learn from us, they give us also the information that we need para sa benefit ng mga nanonood sa atin. Virginia Lona,
okay.
Ito naman from Sweden.
Yeah.
Attorney, ikaw magbasa nga kung kaya, kung ano,
So,
sige.
Sweden, ha? Okay, so galing po ito kay
Sweden
Virginia
daw.
Elona.
Sweden.
Yeah.
Oo.
So, good evening, Sonny and Attorney Lira CABATBAT. A blissful week of June. Wishing you both good health, good luck, and stay safe. Yeah, kayo ikaw nga din, ano? Yeah, Virginia, yeah.
Virginia, Sweden yan. Tama daw tayo. Yes po, Mirkovic po pagbasa. Pagbinasa. Kita mo na naman, Attorney. From nasa Scandinavia tayo ngayon. Kanina nasa Balkans tayo. The mga Slavic speaking countries, which is di ba, Bosnia Herzegovina. Ngayon nasa Denmark naman tayo, Attorney. From Sweden, we jump to Denmark. Pakibasa, Attorney, from Nemya Delvo Larsen.
Okay. Yeah, yung nga, Nemya Delvo Larsen, sabi po niya, good evening guys, ma'am, sir, greetings from here.
From DK, from here, DK.
From DK.
DK is Denmark. That's parang parang
Denmark. Wonderful. Talaga. Gosh, we're international na nga, no?
International,
I'm so
may
proud.
Europe.
I'm so happy.
Europe.
Yeah.
Alam mo ba na yung aking show nga, yung radio show nga na nakakatuwa, ang dami kong na-meet na iba-ibang tao from different parts of the world. Meron na ako, pagmamalaki ko yan, she was in Egypt. She was working sa bahay. Yan naman sa bahay. Di ba? House help, no? Ngayon, nakapangasawa ng Norwegian. And when I went to Norway, talagang she was so proud. Alam niya kasi papunta ako ng Stavanger. And talagang pagbaba ko pa lang ng airport kasi nag-live ako, syempre, I was so excited. Ang Stavanger, diyan ang parang oil, diyan kasi may parang offshore. Ang kagandahan sa Norway, may oil sila. Yan ang parang kaya oil rich country yung Norway, pero offshore. Pero ang lugar ko saan merong oil na may drilling offshore, nasa Stavanger. Anyway, when I went there, meron kasi tayong Pilipino doon na successful, and attorney, in the whole of Scandinavia, they have this white something, for the best restaurant. Alam mo kung sino nanalo? Wala mo.
Pinoy ba?
Pinoy. Pinoy.
Talaga?
Pinoy of a Japanese restaurant, may sushi something. Pinoy. Attorney. Michelin
so
chef,
proud,
Michelin starred na siya, Michelin. At saka yung yung kanyang restaurant, sino pangalan ng tao na to, taga Cavite. Ang restaurant niya, dahil lalo nga sumikat, siguro 2 to 3 months ang booking mo. Ganon. So there was this Hollywood star. Nakwento ko na ba sa'yo? Hindi pa.
Hindi pa.
There's this Hollywood star. Pangalan niya Chris Rock. He's a comedian. So it so happened he was doing probably a filming in that area. So they fancied eating in his restaurant. They went there feeling that he's a Hollywood star, thought that they could just have a table, a seat, no? Hindi pinayagan. Sumikat sila ngayon yung restaurant ngayon dahil hindi nila pinayagan na dyaryo hindi porky Hollywood star ka at
fully booked, hindi pwede.
Fully booked, maghintay ka 3 months, parang gano'n, Yeah, it's nakalimutan ko kaibigan ko na yan At it's a white awards. Naka ano naman, naka ano yan, ano man tag dito. Naka ano naman yan eh. Naka-record naman yung mga yan. Merong mga kunyari you go, let's say awards of 2018 or 2019, the best restaurant in the whole Scandinavia, they call it the white something eh. Yeah, Pinoy ang nanalo. So, yeah, very
so proud.
Very proud. Oh, so napakahusay. Ayan. Okay. Nemia Delpo Larsen sabi niya, good evening everyone out there. I'm watching from our kitchen now in Denmark. Diba, nakakatuwa naman. Oy, yung mga Larsen pala, Pedersen, Larsen, son of Lara, parang son of Peder, parang gano'n eh. Nalaman ko lang yan sa Denmark, yung kanilang ambassador. Abogado yun, attorney sa Pilipinas.
Talaga?
University of the Philippines na abogado. But he is an ambassador, no? Diyan sa Denmark, si Leo. He used to be the congen dito. Kung kilala mo siya o if you got the chance to meet him.
Ano pinili niya?
Herrera Lim. Leo Herrera Lim.
Yes. Yeah.
He was the ambassador. That's congen nung nandiyan pa sa may Kensington was doon. Doon. Kasi
yung pa,
now,
natatandaan ko nga.
Nasa Westminster na eh. Dati nandiyan sa Chelsea and Kensington and Chelsea. Dalawa kasi yan eh. Pinagsama yung borough. Pero ngayon, nasa Westminster na yung embassy, no? Okay. Ayan, all right. No, nakakatuwa, no? Kita mo, imagine mo yan. Yung ikaw, attorney, international ka. Yan. Kaya ganun, no? Kaya ganun tayo. Well, itong programa natin. And like I said, I've met a lot of people, no? All throughout itong broadcast natin, from the radio up to now, iba-iba, no? We were enlarging our family. And thank you very much, no, for welcoming us. Imagine welcoming us in your kitchen, no? Pero maswerte yan. Alam mo kung bakit? Kumakain eh.
Bakit?
Kumakain. Tayo, nagugutom na. Ako, nung minention yung kitchen, naalala ko nga pala, teka muna, hindi pa ako kumakain Hindi, kasi may inaano ko yung sinasabi nila ni Edgar na yung fasting ba? Merong mga fasting para ano eh.
Are you fasting?
Hindi naman, pero may mga techniques pala. There are 5 or 6 ways of fasting. Oh, attorney, may ganun. It's good for the health daw. Si Dana kasi, I don't know if you know, si Dana for 1 month because yung kanyang, most of his co-workmates are Muslims. So she had to do it. Yung walang tubig, wala kang pagkain from 4 o'clock in the morning, kakainin mo lang, dates lang yun. And then the next pamayang 7 or 8 o'clock na ng gabi ang kain mo. Wala kang iinumin, wala kang kakainin. Ang hirap nun.
No.
For 1 month.
No, hindi. Yeah, no, I can't. I can't even think about doing that. No, I need,
matibay yun, attorney. Tumatakbo ng marathon yun sa kung saan. Umaakyat ng bundok yun. Aikido ba yun? Basta nag-ano pa yun? Nagma-martial arts pa yun. Ganon ka ano yun. Matindi. No? Kaya parang nahihiya tuloy ako. Parang wala akong ganong lakas. Wala akong stamina. Wala akong ano. No? Ano ba isa doon? Stamina at saka endurance. Diyos ko. Hirap.
Well, okay. Bata pa siya. No? So, it's no. I must say, I can't be doing all that. Ako I'm happy with my Doritos. No?
Doritos. Oy, may malalaki pala, attorney, yung what's it ba? Ano yung parang, di ba, have you, when you were young ba sa Pilipinas, na-experience mo yung cheese curls?
Cheese curls, no.
Ano yung cheese yun eh? Parang
Pinas,
curls?
I was strictly chicharon sa Pinas.
Okay. Hindi kasi nga, may cheese curls sa Pilipinas. Meron dito yung what's it, binibili ko eh. Pero meron silang yung mga giant attorney eh. Giant na cheese curls, parang cheese curls. Masarap. Na nakaka-addict. Anyway, teka na. Ito, last question natin. Teka na, napapasarap yung kwentuhan natin. Ayan. At talaga naman, every time naman magkasama tayo, masarap ang kwentuhan eh. Attorney, basahin mo. Yan, pakibasa. From Nen Manalo.
Okay.
Yan. Ganda na pangalan,
Nen. Nen, yeah. May 2 daughters po ako with a British man. He left and abandoned us. We've never been in the UK. Gusto ko po sanang malaman kung makakakuha po kami ng child support. Pero ang gusto ko po rin pumalaman is kung pwede bang makapuntang bata sa UK. Acknowledge ng father sa mga birth certificate. Yes, very likely, no, Miss Manalo. Dahil it could, because of course they were born to a man who was a British citizen nga at the time. So that being the case, you kahit nga hindi ka, ewan ko kung kasal kayo, pero kahit hindi nga kayo kasal, no, because they were born to someone who is British at the time of their birth, they're very likely to be able nga to apply for actually a British passport, no? So hindi nga, it's not a question of making an application for entry into the United Kingdom. So you go directly to making an application for a British passport, no? The worst case scenario would be they have to be registered and then they can apply for British passport. But I suspect that they can apply immediately for British passport. So yun po yung pangalawang question mo. Yung una mong question, can you get child support? Well, that's a bit more complex. Dahil nga, of course, the children are not in the in the UK jurisdiction. Child support in the UK usually meron nga organization dito. It was called the Child Support Agency. I know iba ng pangalan nga ngayon. But of course, wala nga sila dito and they would not be interested in dealing with the children because of course they're in the Philippines. Now, you can make an application to the court for maintenance nga of children. Again, ang problema nga doon po jurisdiction, because it's very likely that the court will say, well, hang on, we have no jurisdiction dahil wala nga yung mga bata dito. So I would say, baliktarin mo, no? That is, get them British passports, get them in the United Kingdom, no? And then see about getting support nga from them. Pero unang-una, frankly, write to him, no? Kung meron kang details nga sa kanya, and see about getting child support. But no, the good news is, if they want to come into the UK, mga bata, they can.
Oh, really? Well, that's good news, attorney. Maganda yan. So, yan may mga ganyan. Ito rin gusto ko rin, siguro yan, one example yan. Sana mapagsabihan ko yung mga kababayan natin. Akala nila, well, ito inabandon yata, no? Pero akala ng mga tao na basta-basta, let's say, irereto sa, hanapan nyo kami ng mapangasawa o boyfriend. So, itong si British pupunta sa Pilipinas, syempre, tayo mga Pilipino, aminin naman natin na hindi, parang easily you give in because tinitingnan economic, di ba? Hindi basta-basta nakakapunta sa UK dahil unang-una, sweldo, attorney, di ba? Mamaya wala palang tirahan ditong matino yung tao na nagpabuntis kayo, kasi most likely to, hindi kasal to In-acknowledge lang ng father sa birth certificate. No, si Nen Manalo, taga Pilipinas, nag-message sa atin, kamukha ng message ng mga ibang kababayan natin, nag-message sa atin sa Filipino TV Europe, no? Yung sa ating Facebook page. So, ayan. So, pwede. Meron akong kakilala, attorney, doktora siya, pero nung panahon ng back in the 60s or 70s yata, merong government ECFMG, no? Educational Council for Foreign Medical Graduates sa US. So, ang nangyari doon, nagpunta yung parang training ng isang doktor from the Philippines, tapos sinama yung asawa niya, siyempre, andun sila, nanganak doon. Eventually, yung anak niya na yun, yung ngayon doktora na, yun ang kumuha sa kanila sa US as parents niya. Parang ang baliktad na, naging dependent na yung kanyang parents na unang nakarating sa Amerika as a young doctor doing a specialization siguro, no? A specialty, a specialization. Eventually, natapos yung parang educational program, educational medical program na yun, umuwi. Nakapag-apply ng US citizenship yung bata na eventually naging doktora at kinuha yung father. Pwede bang mangyari dito yan sa ganyan? Or pagka let's say nakuha yung passport, can the mother accompany them here? Pero paano yun? Walang titirahan dito yan. Walang bahay.
Yeah, no, yun na nga. That's a bit more complex. Actually, Ms. Manalo, ang gawin mo ito, because I'm just looking at the question nga again, no? So, I'm assuming pinanganak nga yung mga bata sa Pinas, no? So, thinking about it, it may not be just a straightforward passport application dahil hindi nga sila pinanganak nga dito. But you're probably looking at what's called a registration ng una. So, ang payo ko ito, Ms. Manalo, if you email me nga yung details mo, I will send to you a brief note of the process po. No? And then hopefully that helps you a little bit because registration is a bit more complex than simply applying for British passport because just looking at the question nga, as I say, they were not born in the UK, so it's just a little bit more complex. So send me your email, mamaya, and I'll send you the relevant process.
Okay, all right. Okay. Ibigay ko rin yung email mo, attorney, dyan sa kanya para maano, no? Kung sakasakali makapag-contact. Nen Manalo, no? Alam mo nga kung ano yung pangalan to, baka Nena, ano? Pero Nen Manalo.
Nena
Okay.
o nene?
Nene, nene. O, tama, nene. Okay, I guess, yeah, maraming salamat. I guess, yan yung ating last question for tonight, no? At maraming salamat. Ayan, medyo napahaba kami ng konti ni attorney. So, ayan, attorney, it's another wonderful night having us with us, no? At yeah, baka may mga mensahe ka, magpapaalam na tayo. Baka may nais ka pang, o may biglang nag-flash ang mind mo, gusto mo pang i-relay sa ating mga kababayan. Go right ahead. Oy, baka meron ka mga shoutouts. Ano plano mo for the weekend? Kasi I'm asking you dahil halos pa weekend na eh. Diba? Starting tomorrow, parang you're taking the
malapit na nga
weekend
po,
na eh.
yeah. Yeah, no, it's a bit too quick actually, the weekend. Because just I lost a day, so I'm just you mga kliyente ko, when they get letters from me actually today, don't be surprised if it's all dated the 2nd of June, because all my letters have gone out and just realized afterwards na it's all dated 2nd of June. Dahil nakalimutan ko, of course 3rd of June na nga tayo. Anyway, so as usual po, thank you, no? Salamat for joining us. I'm always humbled by the fact na, no, you take the time na to join us. It's a wonderful experience po, no? It's always a joy, and truly it is a happy Thursday. It's great experience. And I will be forever grateful for the time that you provide. Salamat po.
Ayan, sa kanila mako-contact, attorney, pag they wanna contact you.
Sorry, nakalimutan ko nga. Yeah. So, ang email ko po, ito, cabatbat@douglas, tapos -simon.com. Telephone number ko po, 0203-375-0555. But frankly, it's easier to email me. Tsaka mag-email po kayo, can you just put in the subject nga immigration corner, no? Just in case I look at it, I close it, and I never find it again. So, if you put in the subject, then at least I can find it, no? Tsaka Miss Manalo, don't forget, email mo sa akin yung email mo, and I promise I'll send you the relevant process.
A process for application and also for the support, or hindi? Yung support malabo, di ba? Malabo na.
Yeah,
Or
support is more. It's actually more complex, but at least get the one thing sorted.
Okay, sige. Anong one thing? Yung pangalawa, yung second ano nila? Okay, very good. Ayan, si May Tigbaw nagpahabol. Thank you and God bless. See you next Thursday. Kita mo, may date ka na, attorney, ha?
Please.
See you next Thursday, ha? So, kailangan see you next Thursday. Okay, well, I guess it's time for us to say goodbye. Nako, maraming salamat. Kayo, naka-relax kayo. Kami, ni attorney, kung pwede nga lang. Sila kasi, pwede sila manood sa kanilang mga bedrooms. Di ba? Pwede silang manood sa mga living rooms nila. No? Pwede silang manood sa kitchen. Di ba? Or kung nagta-travel kayo, nagda-drive, I'm sure pwede rin kayo manood sa atin, 'di ba? Hindi na imposible ho ngayon dahil napakalakas ng internet dito dito sa signals dito sa sa Europe, no? Ako pag nagda-drive ako, minsan nanonood ako ng mga palabas, no? So, ayan. Si Virginia Lona nagte-thank you sa atin, pero saan kaya mapupunta yung greetings nito dahil ayun, nasa akin pupunta yun. Thank you rin, ha, Virginia. Ayun. Scandinavia is present sa atin, no? And also Bosnia and Herzegovina, attorney. No?
Yeah.
Ano pangalan ng lugar na yun? Tuzla, ayan, no? Tuzla. Si Ivy Gregorio Mirkovic. Ayun. Okay. Well, thank you very much sa lahat ho nang nanood sa atin. Mapa-kitchen kayo, mapa-bedroom, mapa-living room. Thank you very much for being with us and making it a habit to be with us on a Thursday, no? Let's do it again, no? Sabi nga, next Thursday, let's do it again. And sana huwag kayo magsawang manood dito sa ating, samahan kami dito sa ating palatuntunan para ho sa ating lahat to, no? Itong ginagawa natin dito. It's for you and me, and it's making a Thursday night meaningful by way of your questions, hindi lamang para sa inyo, baka para sa kaibigan niyo at mga kamag-anak ninyo. So, till Thursday, Sunny here, on behalf of Attorney Lira Simon CABATBAT, saying good night, take care, and God bless. Good night. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bango na niluluto mo ah. Paborito ko yan.
Sa World Remit, naiintindihan namin ang iyong paglalakbay. Na minsan, kailangan lumayo upang makamit ang tagumpay. With ways to save more, when you send more, World Remit is here for you. So you can be there for them.